Hi everyone, welcome to MOSGyan. So in today's video, we have been given one question which is based on differential amplifier. In this question, one information which is given to us is that this MOS M3 and M4 are working in sub-threshold region. This is the one key information which is given to us. It is also given that the current which is flowing from MOS M4 and M3 is current I1, whereas the current which is flowing from M2 M4 is I2. So if we take the subtraction of these two currents, that means difference of these two currents, that we are denoting by delta I, that would be equal to I1 minus I2. It is also given in the question that two inputs are applied at the pair of this differential amplifier NMOS pair. So we are applying Vp at the gate of MOS M3, whereas Vn at the gate of MOS M4. And if we take the difference of these two, which we are denoting by difference of input delta VID, that is given as Vp minus Vn. So this information is given in this question. Now we know in general for differential amplifier, if we are changing the value of Vp or Vn, depending on how we are changing the value, the current I1 and I2 will definitely change. So this differential amplifier works like a current steering circuit where based on the change in the input voltage, this current will also change. This current will change because ITEL, which is the tail current, will always remain constant. So one equation which we know for differential amplifier is ITEL is always equal to I1 plus I2. Now in this question it has asked to plot the curve of delta I versus delta VID. This curve we need to plot, and this we can only plot when we know the direct equation between delta I and delta VID. So that we will derive in this question. The key information here is what I mentioned in the beginning. This MOS M3 and M4 are working in sub-threshold region. So this we need to take into consideration while deriving the equation between delta I and delta VID. So let's start solving this question. So first of all, as we know, in the information which is given to us, these two are working in sub-threshold region, and when any MOSFET is working in weak inversion or in moderate inversion, we know the drain current equation ID can be given by ID equal to I naught e to the power VGS upon VT. This is the equation which we know for drain current if MOSFET is operating in weak inversion. Now we can write the same equation for MOS M3 and M4. If I write the same equation for MOS M3, let's call this as ID1. So that would be equal to I naught e to the power VGS we can represent by gate voltage we know Vp. So Vp minus, let's assume this potential is Vs. So Vp minus Vs upon Vt. This is for MOS M3. Similarly for MOS M2 we can write ID to equal to I naught e to the power. Gate voltage is Vn here, so Vn minus Vs upon Vt. These are the two equations which we have written for MOS M3 and MOS M4. Now if we divide these two currents, that we will get ID1 divided by ID2 if we are doing. So what we will get? I0 to I0 will get cancelled out, and e to the power Vp minus Vn upon Vt, Vn minus Vs upon Vt. If we solve this equation, so ultimately we will get e to the power Vp minus Vn upon Vt. This we will get. Now we already know Vp minus Vn we are representing by delta VID. So we can write this at e to the power VID upon Vt. So this is the equation which we have written for ID1 divided by ID2. And we also know in this question, it is not in question for any differential amplifier this is valid, ID1 plus ID2 will be equal to I tail. This we know will be valid for any kind of differential amplifier. Now let's assume ID1 value, we are considering one variable. So let's assume ID1 is beta times of ITEL. If we are considering this is the value of ID1, then we can definitely write ID2 will be equal to ITEL minus ID1, which we are assuming beta times ITEL. Beta times ITEL, yes. So ID2 would be equal to 1 minus beta times ITEL. Right, this is what we can write for ID1 and ID2. If we now divide ID1 and ID2, so ultimately we'll get beta tel divided by 1 minus beta into I tel. So we can write beta divided by 1 minus beta is equal to ID1 divided by ID2. Now this value we already have extracted here. So we can write it equal to e to the power VIT divided by VT. Now this is a simple equation. Beta divided by 1 minus beta is equal to e to the power VID upon VT. So from here, if we try to extract the value of beta, so that we will get beta equal to will get e to the power VID upon VT divided by 1 plus e to the power VID divided by VT. This is the value of beta which we have extracted. Now if we know the beta, so definitely we know the value of ID1. If we multiply this by I tel, so we will get ID1. So ID1 is nothing but the same value e to the power VID upon VT divided by 1 plus e to the power VID upon VT into I tel. This is the value of ID1, and if we put the value of beta in ID2 equation, so we can derive the value of ID2 also. So value of ID2 would be equal to 1 minus beta into I tel. So if you solve this, you will ultimately get I tel divided by 1 plus e to the power VID upon VT. Now, if you see, we already have arrived on the term of VID, and the question was asking to plot between delta I versus delta VID. So we need to first find out the value of delta I. So we know ID1 and ID2, we can find the value of delta I, which would be equal to ID1 minus ID2. So if you subtract these two, ID1 and ID2, what you will get? You will get I tel into e to the power VID upon VT minus 1 divided by e to the power VID upon VT plus 1. This is the value which you will get. This is the final equation which have relation between delta ID and delta VD, which was asked in this question, but we can further simplify this. So we know the formula of tan hyperbolic x. The formula of this is equal to e to the power 2x minus 1 divided by e to the power 2x plus 1. So if you compare this particular term with this tan hyperbolic x expression, you will get the value of x, which would be equal to VID divided by 2VT. This is the value of x which we will get after comparing. So if you further solve this I1 minus I2, which is equal to delta I, so if we solve this further, we will get delta I would be equal to I tel into tan hyperbolic VID divided by twice of VT. This is the final value which we will get for this equation. Now we know the equation between delta I and delta VD, which was asked in this question. If we know this equation, we can simply plot the graph between delta I and delta VD. Let's plot that. So this is the expression which we just now derived. Now let's try to plot this. So if we plot on y-axis delta I, on x-axis we put delta VD. So the curve which will come here will be something like this. This is how the curve will look like. Now there are some interesting things which we can observe from this curve. Here we have mentioned delta VID, and here on y-axis we are mentioning delta I. Now when the difference between these two inputs Vp and Vn is 0, so at that time your current difference will be also 0, because the same amount of current will flow. So let's assume this is the middle point. So this is 0, this is also 0. Now this is minus of VD, this is plus of VD, this is ISS, this is plus of ISS. What does it mean? The meaning of this graph is that when the difference between inputs are zero, current difference will also be zero. Now around this, if you see, around this range, the graph is very linear. So that means in this range, if the delta variation between inputs is quite less, the graph will work, the amplifier will work like an amplifier, amplification will happen, and the current difference will also be less in that range. Now, as soon as you will make the delta difference very high, that means if you make one input go very high and one input you make very low, that means the entire amount of current flow will happen through one branch. The other branch will be having a minimum or very low current. So at that time, this graph will work like a large signal analysis. It will not work anymore like an amplifier graph. So this circuit will not work like amplifier if you start giving a large signals at the gate of this differential amplifier. That's what is shown in this graph. If you apply the logic high at VP, logic low at VN, so basically you will get the saturated outputs. If you do other way around, so you will get the saturated and minimum output. So that is what this curve is trying to explain. So this was the question which was asked here. You had to derive this equation between delta I and delta BID. Based on that, you have to plot this graph and you have to understand what this graph is trying to explain. So I am sure you must have learned the basics about this differential amplifier. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found this video useful, please share with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe. Thank you.